You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, sir.
And Ice Cube has been up here a lot. You might be another member of the show.
Why not, man? You know what I mean? I'll take a check.
Ice Cube, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ice Cube. Everything's corrupt.
Yeah, everything is corrupt.
I've been listening to the album, man. It's a lot of things on there.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of things to discuss on there.
Mm-hmm.
It is. You know, it's a full album, and you know, I'm real proud of it.
You Chase Down the Bully is a record I like, and you know, I start with that because you mentioned Skull and Bones and doing karate on the Illuminati. You've been in the game a long time, Hollywood and the music industry.
Yeah.
Do these secret societies really exist, Q?
I ain't never ran across nobody.
Okay.
Nobody ain't never came at me with none of that. So.
And that's the
I don't
answer he
know.
would give if they did too, by the way.
No, I mean, I would tell the real. You know, I'm always tell the real. Yes, I can. I ain't scared of them fools.
We can tell.
If anybody would know, it would be you.
Absolutely.
Because they would say you were the person that, like, with all the success you've had, clearly, Q would be a part of one.
If you ignorant, you probably would say that. But if you know me, you know, nah. You know, I don't get down.
Now, you also feel like the president should be arrested.
Arrest the president.
Yes. So a song like that, right, because, you know, Donald Trump definitely does things that other presidents haven't done and target people who he feels like aren't in agreement with him. So with that being said, on the way here, did they extra search you at the airport? Or
Nah.
Did he buy the BIG3 yet?
Nah,
Did he stop the music yet?
Nah, ain't nothing happened like that. I ain't worried about nothing. Trust me.
You ain't worried about the president, none?
No.
Why not?
Why should I?
Maybe just IRS tax stuff.
My taxes are straight. I pay my taxes.
Donald Trump might throw a little wrench in it.
Because he's
You
a
know-
catty president. He's the type that will get revenge somehow, some way. He's that type of guy.
Man, you black in America, somebody's trying to get revenge on you anyway.
100%.
True.
So, you know, I tell his ass to stand in line.
Now you're
What about
also,
supporters, Trump supporters? You worried about backlash from
No,
them?
I ain't worried about that. You know, my records, it's not just against Trump. You know, my records talk about everybody. You know, I pretty much, you know, nobody's exempt on the Ice Cube record. So, you know, I talk about politics, but I talk about the hood. I talk about everybody. So, you know, you just got to get in line.
let me ask you this, though, just one last thing about politics from my end. So let's say, you know, you're doing the New Friday movie, right? And let's just say the person who wants to produce it, the whatever, is a Trump supporter, like a big one. Can you still do business with people that you don't agree or with their policies?
All the time.
Yes.
That's what I've been doing in the business my whole career. It's like, these dudes ain't all down with my philosophy. You know what I'm saying? These dudes got their own, you know, motivations, so to speak. So, you know, I felt like I've been working with the other side forever.
Does it ever bother you, like in a meeting, they say something and you're like, that was crazy?
Yeah, I do. And you got to check them. You gotta check foolishness and stop people when they're just blatantly wrong or they're ignorant or they don't understand.
I can't see anybody saying something crazy around you in a meeting.
Sometimes they don't understand. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand the flavor, and you got to just kind of educate them.
Like they don't think it's wrong. They just saying how they really feel, not knowing that it's clueless.
Yeah, you know, it's just they're removed trying to be cool. So, you know, it's always some stumbles.
What's something you've heard?
I mean, I can't recall the stupid stuff I heard in the world. You know, I kind of let that go. But, you know, they'll just misspeak or speak about culture and they'll be wrong.
I have no clue.
Like a stereotype.
It'll be a stereotype or be a broad view of something, and you know it's really up to you to give them the intricate view of it and how it really goes down.
What made you do music again? Like, you know, with the acting, the directing, the big three, and
I ain't
everything
never
that you got
stopped.
going on. What made you do music, and especially because music ain't like what it was before, where people are making a lot of money. Now it's a different game. It's streaming. And what
Well, I
made you
never
jump
got
back
into music for money. You know what I'm saying? So it's always been a hobby. It's always been something that I would do creatively when I didn't have nothing else to do. You know what I mean? So I still use it as a hobby. It's still fun. It's still great to go in there and create something that's never existed. And so I still use it the same way. I've never stopped doing records. You know, it's just I've been on an independent label, you know, with Lynch My Records since '06. So, you know, when you independent, you fly under the radar a lot. You know, now back on Interscope, I'm on Interscope. This is my first time being with a major label.
What made you go back to a major?
Just trying something new. You know, I think, you know, and we just did a deal. We did a deal where I was able to, you know, get my masters back and stuff
So you got
like
all your
that.
masters back.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so it's kind of cool to be able to you know, work something out on the new records. We worked something out on the old records, so let's work something out on the new ones.
This whole Trump era is right up your alley. Like, when did you start recording? After observing what he was doing in the White House while he was on the campaign trail? Like, what gave you the inspiration to start writing?
No, I've been working on this record, man, since like 2013.
Wow.
But I had to put it down, you know, pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down, because I used to just do it all, you know, like I would be on a movie set and lead a movie and go to the studio, be there all night, and then get back and go to the and like something suffered, you know what I mean? It wasn't all the way focused. So I just decided when I'm working on a movie, I'm gonna stop records until the movie's over, and then I'll go back to my record. And so that's what kind of happened with Straight Outta Compton. So I had to stop my record because I had to work Straight Outta Compton, make sure that was right. Then I jumped back on my record, and then we thought of the BIG3. So I had to stop again to just laser focus on the BIG3. And that's just how I'm able to do a lot of things, by giving things their just due and not trying to do it all at the same time.
You got a record called Don't Bring Me No Bag,
Yeah.
where you shit on the drug game, using and selling. I feel like that's better than the Just Say No campaign. What made you take that approach?
He's getting checks instead of bags.
Yeah, you know, it's like, man, who want dirty ass money? You know what I mean? It's like we trying to get checks. You know, we trying to make clean transactions. So, you know, I just think everybody's kind of, you know, I guess saluting the trap house and
Celebrating
and celebrating it. Yeah, there you go. Celebrating the trap house, and I'm like, what's to celebrate? You know what I mean? It's like we didn't celebrate crack houses. It was like, that's the crack house. You know, that's where all the zombies gonna be. So, you know, we talked about it. It's the same thing, but to me, it's like you gotta put a lid on some of this stuff.
You said trap or die, that's a lie.
It is. Trap or die, that's a lie.
People, what is it, something to testify? Like,
Yeah. You either damn, you got me.
it's okay to forget your
It's not even out yet.
Basically, people be lying and snitching. That's basically what it is.
Now you're also bringing back Celebrity Deathmatch.
But wait, before you do Celebrity Deathmatch, I'm sorry, Yee, how did you feel when you hear situations like Tekashi 6ix9ine, who is kind of caught up in that world where he's a rapper,
Yeah.
but now he's kind of caught up in the whole trap game, and now he's locked up for it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because, you know, when you make it to a certain level, it's time to change how you do things, you know. And you know, he made a lot of noise, you know what I'm saying, with I guess like his internet,
Trolling.
you know, yeah. And then he started doing records, and you know, he started to get fame off the records. And so it's time to leave the other stuff alone and just go with your new career making records, you know. So it's just a cautionary tale to, you know, once you get in the game, it's time to leave some of that stuff alone and become an artist, man, and do what you love to do.
When did you realize that I have to leave the street stuff alone in your career? Like, when was like, you know what, I got to separate the street Cube from rap Cube?
When dudes start costing me money, you know, like take dudes on the road, they wasn't ready, and, you know, it's like getting calls in the middle of the night, like come down to the lobby, you know, your friend, like, is tripping. He's one of my homies, you know, rest in peace. He went down in the lobby. They was having like Ford or Chevy was having like a little breakfast for their workers, and he was in there just grubbing. Like, it was like, sir, you can't be in here. He's like, man, I'm fuck that, I'm in here. So, you know, things like that, I started realizing, like, either you're an asset or you're a liability. You know what I'm saying? And if I think you're a liability, you're not rolling with me. If I think you're an asset, you're gonna help, then you get a shot.
Isn't there some people who could be both, though? Like somebody like a Tupac, in a way?
Well, you know, artists, they, you know, some of them half cocked and crazy. I'm just talking about homies and people I take on the road, and you know, but it's really about just understanding the level that you're on, and that you know you can't do everything you used to do because people know who you are.
What made you attack the prescription drug epidemic the way you did on them pills?
Because, man, I think it's crazy. I think, you know, it's just a whole new epidemic. You know, it's like when we were coming up, crack was king. It was killing everything around us. We didn't want to mess with it. You know, now it just seems like pills are king, but people are with it, and everybody's like think it's cool, and it's not. You know what I mean? These are crazy chemicals people are putting in their body, and they don't really know where it's coming from. They don't, you know, dudes hand you a pill, you don't know where that damn thing came from.
It was made, right?
What's in it, and so it's you know, it's just something I think we should address and not just, you know, pretend like it ain't happening.
What about people who really need
corrupt. Like your body, everything in your body's corrupt too. All the stuff that they're giving us to put in our bodies, because people get addicted to those things because like sometimes they're prescribed to them, and then they can't get off of it.
Yeah, that's what I would say. What about people who really need to take it, like really need to take Xanax for their anxiety or actual medical reasons?
Well, I think that's fine. You know, if you do it in a responsible way, but if you just popping pills, you know what I mean. That to me is dangerous, man, because you know. Chemicals, you know, really affect the body, and you know, I just think it's an epidemic and it's a road that we need to address.
Absolutely. Now, you was asking about Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yeah, so you're bringing back Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Which I used to love watching. So what's this new remake of it going to be?
I mean, it's a lot of celebrities that need to go at it. I mean, it's better for them to go at it on Celebrity Deathmatch than to go at it in the street. So
who needs to go at it?
It's a lot of people that need to go at it, man.
Who needs
I mean,
to go at
you know, I mean, it's a million names. You know, you could have Bill Cosby going against Harvey Weinstein or something like that. You know, I mean, it's like
you should have 50 and Ja fighting every episode.
Man, well,
not even in the ring,
just outside in the back fight, man.
Exactly.
I have you come on as a producer, man.
Well, thank you, Q.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, just have fun with it, you know, and just entertain people and you know, do stuff that's cool. I think. You know, back then it was a claymation thing, but, you know, I think there's a lot of different mediums now that you can try this in. So we're going to do some experimenting, but, you know, it's definitely going to be what it was, but updated.
Did y'all start taping yet or not yet?
No. We just got the deal together. So now it's really time to go and figure it out.
Gotcha.
You got a record called Street Shed Tears. I think that's my favorite record on that.
Thank you.
You said on that record you don't got no haters. And you also turned that into a record with Too Short, but you choose not to see your haters? Because I'm sure Ice Cube has them. I had to think about that. I was like, I've never seen an Ice Cube hater.
Yeah,
but I'm sure you got them.
Yeah, but they invisible. They don't affect me. You know what I mean? They like, you know, I guess I'm bulletproof when it comes to haters because they don't really affect me. I don't get energy off of people's negative, like, I know he can't do it, so I'm going to do it. You know, that don't move me. You know, so, yeah.
You don't thrive off that.
Nah, not at all. So, haters don't exist to me.
In that record, too, you sound like you've been contemplating the way people will view you when you're gone. Have you been thinking of your legacy?
You know, every now and then. You know, not a lot. You know, it's to me, it's a record that, you know, of course I did the record, but I feel like it's a record that, you know, people can vibe to and feel and hopefully feel that they can see themselves in the record somehow, some way. You know, it's a record about like knowing what's gonna happen after you're gone, but not harping on it. You know what I mean? Celebrating while you're here.
Too Short's the only guest appearance on the album too. So was that a conscious like, listen, I'm gonna have none, and then you were like, you know what, I gotta get Too Short. Like, how did that happen?
I don't never really think about it. You know, I just go in there and do records, and if a record feels like, yo, I want somebody on this record, I feel like, you know, I need, you know, one of the homies to jump on it, you know, then I'll make that move and make that call. But, you know, I I don't really think about doing a lot of collabs. Like when I'm thinking of a record, I'm not thinking of, oh, I could do this record and do this with him and do this with her, and it'd be dope. I just go in there and do my records, and if it's 3 verses on the hook and it's right, then I'm like, don't need nobody.
We had Trey Songz up here the other day, and he was talking about his new movie that came out, and he was playing a cop. And he wanted it to be clear and know that he was an acting role.
That's the character, Sonny.
But I thought about I thought about Cube, and I'm like, Cube has played all these roles and never really had a problem. So for artists out there that take these roles, what do you tell them about playing those type of roles? Is it a problem? Should you be worried?
It's acting. If people believe that's
very
you,
concerned about that.
If people believe that's you, that's their twisted mind. It's like if you can't, differentiate.
I know, we know what you mean.
English.
What is the word?
Differentiate.
English ain't my first language.
Yeah, I ain't got it either. I see it in my head though.
Yeah, I do too.
DIFF. But go ahead.
Differentiate.
Yeah, English ain't my first language. You know what I'm saying? But check this out. So, if you don't know the difference between a movie and a real person, then you just did a great job in that movie. That's what I say.
Right.
Like you did such a great job, because when you act, I'm giving an acting lesson.
Go ahead.
When you act, you're playing somebody different most of the time. So
when you played it,
You're
Why
not
would Trey
yourself.
ever think somebody would think he was a cop in real life?
No, he was really. He kept
That
saying.
doesn't even make no sense to me.
Did you have to think about twice about playing a cop when you first did it, or was it like, nah, I'm just doing this?
Yeah, you think about it. You like, how your fans gonna take this? But it's acting. It's a role.
Right.
It's a movie.
Yeah,
Not like you playing an
particular-
on the beat cop anyway, Cube. You always be having like cornrows and undercover.
Yeah, but I would play an on the beat cop. I would play one.
Charlamagne
Why
played a
not?
cop, right?
Yeah, and ride along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no talking.
And
you
it-
just
yeah.
you just walked along though.
I could think of some people though, when we think of them like in their first big role, you kind of look at them like that. Like, look, when I used to watch Oz, and there would be certain characters on there, and that's the first time I seen them. And then like they have a role on there, and you think like, oh, is this person gay in real life? Because you've seen them play it in a role, and that does happen. Like,
Without a doubt. Lines do get blurred.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
But at the end of the day, it's like I'm not a character. It's just I'm myself. So
When you talking about cops, though, you got a song called "Good Cop, Bad Cop."
yeah.
It's a nicer way of saying "fuck the police."
Well, it's more of a protest, and it's I'm playing to the good cops to get these bad cops out your force, man. Get them, get these bad apples out the bunch.
because we do need good cops.
Yeah,
Like,
and there's a
let's-
lot of good cops.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there. They're just a lot of them are silent. A lot of them caught up in the culture of law enforcement. So, it's a culture of have your man's back, win at all costs.
Yeah.
And so, they don't report some of the things that they should report. So this is an appeal to the good cops, saying, yo, get these dudes out your force and gain your respect back from the community.
It's a corrupt system that has to be fixed.
Yeah, I don't think
Yes.
you can be a good cop if you watch the bad cops do bad things and don't say nothing though.
Yeah, it's a I guess a thin line, so to speak, with that, because I know I'm a good guy, and I know some of my homies do dirt, and
You don't say
I ain't gonna
anything.
snitch on them.
Right.
So it happens, but when you're in law enforcement, you just gotta snitch. Sorry, that's your job.
You
Job
say-
is to snitch.
job.
You say black police showing off for the white cops. What does that mean?
Oh, when sometimes when you get a black cop, or sometimes a black teacher or black whatever, and you're black, sometimes they feel like I gotta teach you a lesson. I gotta show you how to be, and sometimes it's unnecessary aggravation that they're giving you, trying to, they take it on like you embarrassing them, like you they uncle or cousin or somebody. So they just take on a different posture sometime that they don't have to, and it happens,
You got another song called "Can You Dig It," and to me, that's unapologetically for the older hip hop heads.
Yeah,
And I love the fact that you don't feel the need to cater to the youngins. Is that intentional?
Well, yeah, it is, because I'm not a youngin. So, you know, it's really just all about doing what you feel you should be doing and doing what you feel is dope, you know, from your vantage point. So, you know, hopefully the youngsters get with it. If not, you know, this record is really geared for the Ice Cube fan. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who been down with me for a long time and want me to do what I do best. And so I'm not chasing, you know, I'm just doing what I do best.
Does your son listen to your music? You let him hear your music before you put it out?
Yeah, I let him hear it.
How does he feel about your music?
I mean, he always say it's dope, you know, but I know when it's real dope if I catch him listening to it without me saying, I'm about to send you this to listen to.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really listen to what he say. I kind of just go by his actions. He'll come up and be like, yo, that record you did with, you know, Short was crazy. And so then I know he really listening to it. And it's
who
not
do you
just,
listen to when it comes to your music? Like, who do you trust?
I trust my wife. I trust Dub C. Definitely. I trust my sons, you know, because they know me and they know, you know, what's good hip hop and what's bad hip hop.
Right.
And they still fans of everybody else that's out. So I can really measure off them. But not too many people. You know, I kind of know what I need to do. And, you know, some things might be fresh to me, whack to everybody else, but that's fine too, because I just feel like when you're an artist and you've been around for so long, you should do what you feel and not what you think you should do.
Well, with that said, you know, being Ice Cube, the mogul, you Hollywood royalty, you don't have to talk about the stuff you talk about. Like, you could play it safe. So why do you choose to do that?
Because that's what I'm all about. You know, that's what hip-hop is all about to me, is the freedom to say what you feel. And, you know, I feel sorry for artists that don't have that freedom right now. And I do. So, you know, it's not to play it safe. It's to push the envelope, you know, and it's to highlight what I believe needs to be kind of, you know, exposed, and, you know, and then let the chips fall where they may. You know, it may cost me some money, you know, somewhere down the line, but but you know, I always had a philosophy that you can't be scared of what you're gonna lose and not fight for what you got. So that's where I always be.
And we see you do it with the
down.
BIG3. You weren't scared. I think when you first came out with the BIG3, I don't think anybody believed.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is what, the third season?
Yeah, third season coming around.
You've been selling out arenas. It's on television now. So what's next for the BIG3? And who are you eyeing for to be playing this year?
Everybody. You know, I got my eye on everybody.
I saw you.
Yeah. You know, it's a lot of people out there, you know. And it's a lot of people that's entering their last few years. So, you know, we've been talking to a lot of people. And, you know, we want to expand. We want the league to grow. We took a leap forward from year one to year two. We plan to take another you know, leap forward from 2 to 3.
Are you going to sell the teams?
No.
No. So you're not going to, like, you know, this person owns, you know, this team, or this person owns that team. Not at all.
Nah. We want to just be a league, because we don't want, you know, we want to move as a league and not move as, like, we got to gather up all these individuals and get them to take a vote and agree and all this kind of stuff that makes a league slow. You know, we need to be fast. We need to be swift.
I just think
we
like
need to
having
be move.
Like
it may
areas,
eventually come,
like
but
areas, you know, like this is the New York team or this is the DC team, you know, because now it's like more players. It's like, what team AI coaching? I'm AI's my guy. I'm going with AI's team.
yeah.
You know what I mean,
Well, that's fine, because we felt like, you know, let's not connect them to cities, because people are not into teams like that as much. They're into players. They're into, you know, this fantasy football stuff really makes people look at sports different. So,
and you're not really going to pick up a new team if you already got diehard love for another one.
Exactly. So with this format, we believe we can go anywhere in the world and we're at home. You know, it's a home game anywhere we go.
True.
And so, you know, once we start making cities, then we feel like, okay, we got to make sure we get to this city because they got a team. Now we can go anywhere and everybody still feel like, yo, I'm part of it. I'm excited. And they still have 8 teams they root for, you know.
How you evolving into the 3rd season? What's new that's coming?
We got some announcements we're going to make around Christmas.
It's around Christmas now.
I don't want to go out too far, but we want to, you know, I mean, I'm on the Breakfast Club. I need to, you know, this is where you get it real, right? Okay. We want to expand. We want to expand to 12 teams, and we want to play 2 nights a week, 3 games a night.
Is it going to be on television?
On television, on TV.
Yeah.
On TV now.
It's been on TV.
Sure.
It's been on TV. First season we was on TV. So, yeah. So we want to play 2 nights a week.
Now, anybody I know at one time, y'all were trying to get Kobe to play.
We're still trying to get Kobe to play.
That would be amazing.
It would.
What about the Ball son? The Ball son that didn't make it to the league.
Well, he's not eligible.
He's not eligible.
He's not eligible to play.
You have to have been in the league.
You have to be in the league. You know, have been in the league.
An NBA league, or is it? Could
the
he play
NBA league?
Okay.
What if you only played 1 season? That's fine.
That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, if you make it and somebody pick you to play with them, you know, it's fine. But I promised these dudes that they would play with their peers, and so I think that's the reason a lot of them joined the league.
So not even overseas.
It wasn't pro-am. It was you know, just play with your peers.
It's not even overseas, because some of them overseas.
We got one guy that snuck in that was just overseas guy, but he came in and did his thing. So
Master P is eligible then.
Yeah. I mean, technically.
All right.
Now, I want to go back to the album for a second. You got a song called Non-Believers.
Yeah.
Where you said white people stop calling things ghetto, and they're the reason for the ghetto.
Yeah.
Could we expound on that a little bit?
Do I have to?
No.
I mean, you know, it's like, it's funny that she's like, oh, that's ghetto, you know, and it's not an endearing term. It's saying that that's below standard, below average, and I'm like, man, stop, because it wouldn't be the ghetto if it wasn't for this white supremacy stuff. So, you know, stop it.
So I saw a quote that said, a ghetto is creativity that the white man hasn't stolen yet. So it's ghetto, it's
like
ghetto
that.
until they take it.
I like that. You know, we make it. I mean, we make it, they take it, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Q got to go. So if you got one last one, Q got to
go. Oh, yeah, well, I was going to say, if everything's corrupt, when we know the fix is in, what are we supposed to do?
Fight against it. Yeah. Fight against the corruption. You know what I mean? We ain't got to.
Do better.
Yeah, we ain't got to go for it. You know, expose it, and try to stomp it out. Try to change it. You know, we ain't gotta live like this, y'all. Straight up.
And I have one last question. Are you going to be involved in this 21 Jump Street remake they might be doing with Tiffany Haddish and Awkwafina? They're saying a woman's version.
I haven't heard of that.
Me neither.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, they started talking about it, that they're in talks to do that.
I mean, I'd be open to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a good script, and, you know, Captain Dixon can come in and still be crazy. Yeah.
All right. Well, Ice Cube.
I just want to put my bid in as a producer on Celebrity Deathmatch. That's all.
All right, man. Come on with it.
That's all.
All right, I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you.
Ice Cube, we thank you for joining us.
Thank you for always taking time to come see us. We know you be packed when you're in New York, but you definitely always reach out and stop through.
Absolutely.
No, this is love. You know, I appreciate you guys always making room for your boy.
All right. Well, it's Ice Cube. It's the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.